MBA worth the hype or is it overhyped?
यार ये थोड़ा ना कंट्रोवर्शियल होने वाला है जब मैं बोलूंगा, बट आई थिंक यू शुड नॉट थिंक अबाउट MBA व्हेन यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट बिकमिंग अ मार्केटर. MBA is not your ladder to success or becoming a successful brand manager or a marketing manager. Paytm happened for me somehow. I landed in Paytm in 2015 when I think startup were new in India. People were like कि startups एक दो दिन में बंद हो जाने वाले हैं, सैलरी मिलती है नहीं मिलती है. फार्मा इटसेल्फ बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स है एंड देयर आर सो मेनी रेगुलेशंस कि आप जो आज जोमेटो की ऐड देखते हो कि 50% ऑफ देके सिर्फ 40 रुपए ही देते हैं, तो वो सब चीजें यू कांट डू इन फार्मा. यू कांट डू गिमिकी स्टफ इन फार्मा, इन फाइनेंस. द ओनली थिंग द रिमेंबर्ड वाज अ जिंगल दैट वी हैव क्रिएटेड, PharmEasy, take it easy, PharmEasy. This is, I think, my reward of, I think when I hear from people ki they remember this tone, that's where I feel very fulfilled as a marketer. Continued to grow as a brand. I think when I left the company, we were doing around 3,000 to 3,600 crores in revenue as a company. 2023, I was there at Wankhede, and I think that was the first time in history I saw Wankhede turning into a yellow ground. And everybody was just there to see Dhoni. All the Mumbai fans were just chanting Dhoni, Dhoni. Because of him, Chepauk Stadium's VIP section and all the tickets are sold for next 2 years. Founder of Paytm, Mr. VSS, founders of PharmEasy, Dharmil, Dhaval, even my Honasa founders, Varun and Ghazal, they are real source of inspiration for, I think, me and for many others also.
हेलो एवरीवन. सो गाइज, टीज़र देख के आपको ये तो आइडिया लग ही गया होगा कि आज हम पॉडकास्ट जो आज का हमारा मेन एजेंडा रहने वाला है पॉडकास्ट का, वो मार्केटिंग के अराउंड रहने वाला है. सो आज जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं अमित सिंह सर, ही इज़ पॉपुलरली नोन एज बेस्ट मार्केटर ऑन लिंक्डइन एंड करंटली ही इज़ वर्किंग एज अ ब्रांड लीड एट होनासा कंज्यूमर. होनासा आप लोग जानते होंगे जो मामाअर्थ की पेरेंट कंपनी है. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आपके पास टॉप 20 स्कूल का टैग होगा तभी आप एक एक अच्छे मार्केटर बन सकते हैं. तो सर की जर्नी से हम ये समझेंगे कि बिना IIT NIT या IIM का टैग लिए बिना सर इतने ज़्यादा लिंक्डइन कम्युनिटी पर इतने ज़्यादा पॉपुलर कैसे हैं. प्लस सर को ऑलमोस्ट 10 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है मार्केटिंग में, सेल्स में. तो पूरी सर की जर्नी समझेंगे. प्लस सर के इंसाइट्स हम जानेंगे कि सर यंग जो मार्केटर्स अभी आ रहे हैं इस इंडस्ट्री में, सर का उन लोगों के लिए सर के पास क्या एडवाइस है. प्लस मार्केटिंग के जो ट्रेंड्स अभी इवॉल्व हो रहे हैं AI के टाइम में, हम वो भी समझेंगे. So good to have you on our platform, sir. It's my honor to host you. So how are you doing today?
Thank you, Levin, for such a warm introduction and welcome. And very, very pleased to be on your show. I think first time जब हमने बात की थी and you told me कि you want to talk about people who have not gone to IIT IIMs and still have made impact in their life. I don't know I have made it yet, but still I think that line stuck with me. और मेरे को था कि यार I should be on this show, and because I know there are millions of kids out there who are not in IIT IIM and they face some kind of struggles in getting good jobs, getting good salaries, good packages. And I just wanted to use this platform to share my journey, my learnings, so that those people can seek some inspiration and do well in their life. And about this best marketer thing on LinkedIn, it just happened and I still know that there is a long way to go for me to being a good marketer, but I think it's a learning phase for me.
ग्रेट. मैं हमारे सारे व्यूअर्स को ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आप आई विल बी शेयरिंग सर का लिंक्डइन का प्रोफाइल इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन. आप सर को फॉलो ज़रूर कर सकते हैं. तो जो मैं तो सर को काफ़ी टाइम से एडमायर भी कर रहा हूँ और काफ़ी टाइम से फॉलो भी कर रहा हूँ. तो सर जो सर की पोस्ट रहती हैं कॉर्पोरेट ह्यूमर के अराउंड रहती हैं. सर काफ़ी स्ट्रेटजीज़ के अराउंड भी बात करते हैं, मार्केटिंग के अराउंड भी बात करते हैं. तो एक बहुत ज़्यादा इंगेजिंग रहती है. आप भले किसी भी डोमेन के हैं, अगर आप लाइफ साइंसेज डोमेन के भी हैं या फिर स्पेसिफिकली स्पोर्ट्स इंडस्ट्रीज के हैं, सेल्स हैं, तो आप यू विल डेफिनेटली गोना इंगेज विद हिज पोस्ट. वो इतनी ज़्यादा इंसाइटफुल और कैची होती हैं. तो सर मैं आपकी जब प्रोफाइल समझ रहा था तो मैंने देखा कि यू हैव डन योर ग्रेजुएशन फ्रॉम दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी फिज़िक्स से. तो एक फ़िज़िक्स का बंदा कहाँ फार्मीजी में 5 साल लगाए, होनासा में कहाँ, ये मतलब वो जर्नी के बारे में बताइए. मतलब ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा लोगों के क्वेश्चन भी आए थे कि सर के हमें जर्नी के बारे में समझना है कि वो मोटिवेशन कहाँ से मिली. मतलब ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग DU के अगर टॉप 3 टफेस्ट कोर्सेज की बात करें तो इकोनॉमिक्स ज़रूर आएगा, फिजिक्स आएगा। तो आपने इतना टफेस्ट कोर्स करके वो कहाँ से, मार्केटिंग, इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए।
आई थिंक बहुत सारे ऐसे इंडस्ट्री में लोग हैं जो एक्सीडेंटल मार्केटर बोलते हैं अपने आप को, और मैं भी उन्हीं में से एक हूँ जो आई थिंक मैं कभी चाहता नहीं था कि मैं मार्केटिंग करूँ या ब्रांड मैनेजर करूँ, एंड टुडे आई थिंक आई एम working at one of the biggest companies in India in FMCG or BPC industry, which is Honasa. But I think the journey up till here was not very straightforward, and I never, to be honest, wanted to be a marketer or a brand manager. So I come originally from Himachal. There is a very small village in Himachal where I was growing up, where my parents grew up basically, and then they moved to Delhi. I was fortunate that they moved to Delhi and my education happened in Delhi. I went to a government school, then I went to Delhi University to one of the prestigious college, Ramjas College.
Hmm.
I did physics honors. The reason behind doing physics honors, because ever since I was in, I think, 10th class, I wanted to become a Air Force fighter pilot.
Okay.
My entire family comes from a government job background or army men. I think I have a very big family. So I have around, I think, 8 to 10 men from my real family, which they are in army, Air Force, Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So I cleared my ND exam also initially. I think over since my schooling till my graduation, I cleared NDA, CDS, AFCAT exams, which is specifically for Air
Air
Force,
Force.
and I gave SSBs, but unfortunately, it was not written. It was not meant to be. So I never cleared the final merit of SSB, and but obviously, I come from a very humble background. You want to start working, start earning money. So since my college days, I started doing some odd jobs. For example, I remember I during my graduation days, I used to go to college 9 to 5, and then I used to go to teach tuitions
Okay.
from 5 to 10. So that's how I was earning money and contributing in my family. On weekends, I used to work like as a salesman, where I work with some FMCG companies where I'm doing, let's say, free sampling outside malls in RWAs to earn like 300-400 rupees a day. That I think experience was very obviously it was very struggling days, but I think it shaped me for becoming a better salesman or a marketer, because I understood consumer behavior during those days. And after completing my graduation, I never had really interest in physics. It just happened because I heard somewhere कि people who are good in maths and physics, they are preferred for a Air Force pilot.
Okay.
So that's why I taken physics honors.
ठीक है.
But I think I realized I don't want to pursue physics. Uh, During those college days, I developed my love for sales, or rather interacting with people. I wanted to understand consumer psychology more. So that's why I landed, like, my first job was a sales job. I did that for 1.5 years. It was basically a company which was working with FMCG companies, some credit card companies. Uh, it was a 6 day working job for me, where every day my goal was to meet at least 90 to 100 people every day on foot. It was complete B2C sales.
Okay.
So I was doing sales in Karol Bagh, Noida, Gurgaon, all across Delhi NCR, and it was very, I think, tiring job, so to say, because literally I was working around 12 hours a day, just walking in streets of Delhi NCR. Sometimes I was selling credit cards, sometimes I was selling cookies, chips, etc. But I think that 1.5 years laid the foundation for me to get into consumer psychology, because during those days I had around 60 to 90 minutes to convert a consumer from showing him the new product and converting him. Then after that, Paytm happened for me somehow. I landed in Paytm in 2015.
Okay.
It was a time when I think startups were new in India. People were like कि startups एक दो दिन में बंद हो जाने वाले हैं, salary मिलती है नहीं मिलती है. That was, I think, that time. Flipkart was parallelly growing. Amazon was growing in India. So I was fortunate that I landed in Paytm. I was in the business team. I was leading a team of some salesmen. I was working as a team lead.
Okay.
I worked there for 2 years. From a salary point of view, I think it was obviously not a great pay because I did not had any again IIT tag with me, and I had not done any MBA from IIM at that point of time. I was just a graduate, but I think because I was so good with my sales skills, I was first able to land my job at Paytm because I think once you come from a humble background, you are forced to do selling. Like आप हमेशा sell ही कर रहे हो, अपने आप को sell कर रहे हो, अपने skills को sell कर रहे हो. You're selling to hiring manager why they should hire you. When you are working, then you are selling to consumers, telling them ki why they should buy your products. So I think all those things really helped me to become good at what I was doing. uh, Paytm, luckily I think, was one of the places in India at that point of time which was a center of innovation. I was very fortunate that I used to I got the work to like got the chance to work with so many great minds. Vijay Shekhar Sharma is very popular outside, obviously, but I was lucky enough to share room with him for some meetings. I understood his vision that was very big. I was very lucky to work with Nehul Malhotra, who is now the founder of Genwise. He is a NSIT IIM Ahmedabad gold medalist. And there was another person I have very high regards for, Mr. Dhruv Dhanraj Bahl. He was one of the CXOs at Paytm, then he was the CXO at Bharat Pay. Now he is a VC. I think s- because of these people around me, I understood that higher education or better MBA degree can play a very good role in your career's trajectory. And I definitely learned a lot from them during those 2 years how to solve critical business problems, which helped me to develop my critical thinking. But I think it also pushed me to go for higher studies and do my MBA. And with my job, then I prepared for CAT. And I was fortunately good at maths since my schooling days. So it was not that difficult, but still, I got into IMT Ghaziabad for my MBA, which is known for marketing. I To be very honest, I wanted to join Mica, which is known for marketing. I cleared the exam, but again, I think as my Air Force journey, I couldn't clear the interview. So I landed in IMT Ghaziabad, which is again known as, I think, Mecca of marketing in Indian B school structure, because it has a great legacy. It has been in I think establishment since 1980s, and today you look at different brands in India or abroad, you will find people from IMT Ghaziabad making good marketing leaders in their respective domains.
ओके. सो सर यहाँ पर मेरे को एक और चीज़ समझनी है कि क्वेश्चन भी आया था लोगों का लिंक्डइन पर कि सर से आप ये चीज़ पूछना कि अगर मार्केटिंग में खुद को स्टैब्लिश करना है, लेट से किसी ने बी टेक करके या नॉर्मल बी कॉम बी एस सी करके उसकी जॉब लग गई, तो क्या एक सर्टेन लाइक आप उन यंग माइंड्स को ये एडवाइस करोगे कि यार एमबीए कर लेनी चाहिए एक पॉइंट पर, उसके बाद तो कोई जॉब ही करनी है, तो या फिर आप ये सजेस्ट करते हो कि नहीं, स्विच कर करके हसल कर करके आप एक अच्छे मार्केटिंग या अच्छे मार्केटियर बन सकते हो? सो एमबीए वर्थ द हाइप और इज इट ओवर हाइप्ड?
यार ये थोड़ा ना कंट्रोवर्शियल होने वाला है जब मैं बोलूंगा, बट आई थिंक यू शुड नॉट थिंक अबाउट एमबीए व्हेन यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट बिकमिंग अ मार्केटियर. MBA is not your ladder to success of becoming a successful brand manager or a marketing manager. MBA should be, I think, your plan B, especially when you are under 23 years of age, because I think till maybe pre-COVID era, there was a trend that people do go to IITs, go to like any BTech, and then they go to IIMs, and then they go into PNGs, Coke, Pepsi, hired as brand managers, senior brand managers, and you will see a lot of people coming out of IIMs becoming brand managers, or let's say people coming from Mica or IMT Ghaziabad becoming brand managers. But in the last 5 years, I have seen people from non MBA backgrounds doing really well at marketing, at brand management.
Okay.
And I think we are in an age where more than your degree, your skills matter. How you have executed things, how you have learned newer trends in marketing, and how you are adapted to those things, that matter a lot more than your degrees. So again, to answer your question, I think MBA is not your answer to becoming a good marketer or a good brand manager. और MBA में to be honest ऐसा कुछ नहीं सिखाते कि आप एक अच्छे brand manager बन जाओ.
ठीक है.
But हाँ, I think rather than, I think अगर if somebody right now today 2022, he should definitely, one, he should start creating content of his own on any, he can start on any platform, be it Instagram, be it LinkedIn, be it Twitter, be it Reddit, because that will help him understand the psychology of consumers or readers on that platform. And if you understand that, you will be able to create better content to have higher engagement. Plus, I will highly recommend joining a early stage startup or a brand where you get exposed to multiple things, be it performance marketing, be it creative strategy, be it social media marketing, be it influencer marketing, so that you get a holistic view of how a brand is built. Because brand marketing is not just marketing, it is amalgamation of so many other functions. So that's my, I think, advice to young people. But I think if you feel ki, you have tried all those things still, because I keep hearing people that I am 25, I am 28, my salary is so low, I am not getting opportunities because I don't have an MBA degree. I am not getting higher salary because I am not have a MBA degree, and which I think the whole system is also designed that when you are hiring somebody, you are looking for people with MBA degrees. So maybe 10 years that will change, but India's reality today is that when somebody is hiring, also they are looking for these things. So that's why I'm saying it is not the absolute mandate, but it can be your plan B.
गॉट इट. सर, अब हम नेक्स्ट एजेंडा पर मूव ऑन करते हैं, क्योंकि आपने फार्मेसी को ऑलमोस्ट अपने करियर के 10 साल में से 5 साल फार्मेसी के साथ स्पेंड किए हैं. तो यहाँ पर मुझे आपसे समझना है कि आपने वो ब्रांड स्क्रैच से 10 से 100 पर जाते हुए देखा है, ठीक है, राइट फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग डेज. तो उसके बारे में बताइए कि क्योंकि आप फिजिक्स इंडस्ट्री से आ रहे थे, ठीक है, एयरफोर्स था, फिर मार्केटिंग चलो हुई, ठीक, सेल्स भी आपने सीखी, साइकोलॉजी सीखी इंडियन कंज्यूमर्स की, लेकिन अभी फार्मा इंडस्ट्री. तो लाइक हाउ डिड फार्मेसी हैपन इन योर लाइफ, और एक पूरे एक ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री में आना, क्योंकि ये मैं समझता हूँ कि आपने मार्केटिंग समझ ली, सेल्स समझ ली, लेकिन पूरा एक नीश अगर आपका दूसरा है, ठीक है, आप पहले पेटीएम की साइड थे, लेकिन आप पूरा ऑल टुगेदर फार्मा इंडस्ट्री तो बहुत ज़्यादा कट थ्रोट कॉम्पिटिशन है, और इंडियन कंज्यूमर स्पेसिफिकली बहुत डिमांडिंग है. तो इस इंडस्ट्री में आपने कैसे अपनी जगह बनाई, और कैसे उस ब्रांड के अर्ली डेज में जाकर उस ब्रांड के ओवरऑल व्हाट आई शुड यूज द टर्म ROI जनरेट कराया, या फिर बिजनेस एक्सपेंशन में कैसे आपने हेल्प की.
ठीक है. सो ऑल्दो मैंने अभी बोला कि MBA मार्केटिंग नहीं सिखाता है, और जो मार्केटिंग वो सिखा रहे हैं दैट इज़ वेरी बैकडेटेड. मतलब आज भी हम फिलिप्स कॉटलर की मार्केटिंग बुक पढ़ रहे हैं. ऑब्वियसली आई हैव वेरी हाई रिगार्ड्स फॉर हिम, एंड सम ऑफ द things he has written in Kotler remains true today also, and they will remain true, I think, 50 years from now also. But I think one good thing that MBA did to me was, one, I was in a place full of people coming from various backgrounds. वहाँ पे लोग कुछ IT बैकग्राउंड भी से भी थे, कुछ मैकेनिकल से थे, कुछ टेक बैकग्राउंड से थे, पीपल वर फ्रॉम FMCG बैकग्राउंड, फार्मा बैकग्राउंड. सो वी यूज टू ऑब्वियसली टॉक टू ईच अदर, अंडरस्टैंड जो भी सबकी लर्निंग्स थी. दैट रियली हेल्प मी. सेकेंड, इन फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ MBA इट इज़ वेरी वेरी हेक्टिक. Literally we work for 26 hours in 24 hours. मतलब सोने का पता नहीं, उठने का पता नहीं, because there are so many classes and there are so many case studies happening. And one of the good thing is you get case studies for different categories or business sectors. So for example, हम airlines के बारे में एक दिन case study कर रहे हैं, फिर next day हम पढ़ रहे हैं hotel industry के बारे में, third day हम बात कर रहे हैं कि यार AI कैसे disrupt करने वाला है, और अभी कर भी रहा है. For example, अगले दिन हम पढ़ रहे हैं फार्मा में क्या हो रहा है, या फिर ऑनलाइन क्या हो रहा है. तो वी आर रीडिंग एंड वर्किंग ऑन सो मेनी डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स. तो इट इज़ सो मच, आई थिंक, एक्सपोजर टू मल्टीपल सेक्टर्स. एंड टू बी ऑनेस्ट, व्हेन आई क्रैक्ड माई इंटर्नशिप, although I was, I think, one of the oldest person in my IMT Ghaziabad batch, and people were like कि तेरे को internship नहीं मिलेगी. Luckily, I cracked my internship on day zero. And another, I think, luck played in my ways कि एक मैंने case study की थी in during my first year, which was on online pharma, that how online pharma is the way ahead. And I have done like a complete case study on that. I have published like paper on that, and that really helped me to crack the interview because literally they asked me those questions.
Okay.
So I cracked my internship at PharmEasy. uh, Went to Bombay, spent 2 months during summer internship, and I think summer internship is the first time after MBA you are working on some real life big problems. And I was very excited to be in Bombay and for doing my internship at PharmEasy. PharmEasy, I think, again was one of the places at in India which was building a cutting edge technology and solving a very big and complex problem. मतलब हमें तो आई थिंक बहुत इजी लगता है ना, अभी फ़ोन करते हैं नीचे और केमिस्ट को बोलते हैं कि भैया दे जाना, मतलब आई एम श्योर आपके घर पे पापा का कांटेक्ट होंगे दो चार केमिस्ट से और बोलते होंगे दवाई दे जाना। कभी कभी वो बोलते होंगे भैया आज नहीं है, कल आपको मंगवा देंगे। इस टाइप की आई थिंक बातें सुनी होगी। बट जो ऑनलाइन फार्मा है, फार्मा इटसेल्फ बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स है एंड देर आर सो मेनी रेगुलेशंस। इट इज़ नॉट लाइक कि आप जो आज जोमेटो की ऐड देखते हो कि 50% ऑफ देके सिर्फ 40 रुपये ही देते हैं वो, तो वो सब चीज़ें यू कांट डू इन फार्मा। You can't do gimmicky stuff in pharma, in finance. So that is one of the key challenges. But coming back to my internship, so I think internship में I worked on a problem statement that how I can automate our consumer journeys. जो भी हम consumer हमारे platform पे आ रहे हैं, how can I automate that? And I think I was very hungry and curious to learn. So even my internship days, I spent 2 months at the organization, but I think I worked on literally everything I could work on in the marketing department. And I showed some positive results during those 2 months. And that's why I landed my job offer also from PharmEasy within next 2 months.
PPO.
So PPO normally सुना होगा, MBA में PPO होता है, प्री प्लेसमेंट ऑफर। तो नेक्स्ट आई थिंक अप्रैल मई में इंटर्नशिप थी और आई थिंक विद इन फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ जुलाई में जॉब ऑफर आ गया था कि आ जाओ ज्वाइन कर लो बॉम्बे में। एंड आई वॉज वेरी वेरी एक्साइटेड। एंड देन आफ्टर आई थिंक MBA के बाद सीधा आई वेंट टू जॉइन PharmEasy। आई जॉइंड एज अ मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी। तो ऐसे प्रोग्राम होता है व्हेन आप MBA के बाद कोई भी कंपनी ज्वाइन करते हो तो आप मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी बनते हो। Normally, if you go to established FMCG company like let's say HUL, Marico, Diageo, Pernod Ricard, अल्कोहल बेचते हैं तो मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनिंग का एक प्रोग्राम होता है। आपके 3-3 महीने के स्टेंट होते हैं। आप पहले सेल्स करते हो, मार्केटिंग करते हो, फिर फाइनेंस करते हो। बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली स्टार्टअप्स में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है। स्टार्टअप में आपको डे 1 पे बोल दिया जाता है चलो अब काम करो। तो PharmEasy की जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई आई थिंक तब PharmEasy कुछ आई थिंक 30-40 करोड़ एनुअल रेवेन्यू कर रहा था। इट वॉज अ वेरी आई थिंक great opportunity for a person like me who was very hungry to learn and curious to learn, and also at the same time wanted to create impact. And I'm very thankful, I think, uh, to my manager then, who was obviously stayed, who was my manager throughout those 5 years, Somil. He was the head of marketing for PharmEasy for almost 3 years, and then new CMO joined, Gaurav Verma, again a very, I think, one of the best bosses I had in my career till now. He is an ex CMO of Zomato and ex marketing director at Pepsi.
Okay.
So obviously, I was very fortunate. I was under the guidance of people like these. So I think PharmEasy or like any other business, there are phases of the business, and depending on that, आप problem solve करते हो या marketing करते हो। And I think वन क्वेश्चन यू आस्क्ड मी कि यार फार्मा के कंज्यूमर्स का माइंडसेट कैसे सीखा या मतलब वो कैसे समझा। तो एक चीज़ मतलब होती है कि फॉर एग्जांपल कोई भी बिजनेस है, मार्केटर का काम क्या है या ब्रांड मैनेजर का काम क्या है। सो एक कंज्यूमर प्रॉब्लम होती है। फॉर एग्जांपल इन आर बिजनेस कंज्यूमर प्रॉब्लम ये थी कि दवाइयाँ बहुत महंगी है। इफ़ आई हैव टू पुट इट वेरी सिंपली, बहुत महंगी है दवाइयाँ क्योंकि सप्लाई चेन बहुत ब्रोकन है। बीच में इतनी कमीशन होती है, होलसेलर्स हैं, रिटेलर्स हैं, द सप्लाई चेन इज़ वेरी ब्रोकन। एंड ऑलमोस्ट उस टाइम पे 9% लोग ऑफलाइन ही खरीदते थे मेडिसिन. अब इमेजिन, आई डोंट नो इन योर फैमिली इफ समबडी टेक्स बीपी की मेडिसिन या कोई भी ऐसी मेडिसिन लेते हैं, इसका खर्चा 8 से 10 हज़ार रुपये आता है एवरी मंथ. तो 8 to 10,000 एवरी मंथ. साल में आप लोग ऑलमोस्ट 1 से 1.5 लाख रुपीज स्पेंड कर रहे हो ऑन मेडिसिन. और आप ये मेडिसिन रोक भी नहीं सकते बिकॉज ये सब क्रॉनिक डिजीज है. ठीक है, दिस कांट बी रिवर्स्ड. दवाइयाँ महंगी हैं, आपका खर्चा फिक्स है. तो फार्मेसी ने थोड़ा इसका सप्लाई चेन कॉम्प्लेक्स था, उसको सॉल्व किया. एंड वी आर एबल टू ऑफर 20% डिस्काउंट टू आवर कंज्यूमर्स. तो अब एक इंडियन कंज्यूमर को हर महीने 2,000 की सेविंग मिल रही है. मिडिल क्लास इंडियन कंज्यूमर जिसको 2,000 सेविंग मिल रही है इन अ ईयर, दैट विल ट्रांसलेट टू 25,000 रुपीज एंड इट्स अ वेरी बिग मनी. So business is solving the problem of expensive medicine, and obviously they are at a time they are not even accessible to you everywhere. कई बार ऐसा भी होगा कि 2-4 केमिस्ट के पास अलग अलग जाना पड़ता है और तब भी नहीं शायद मिलती है. तो हमने एक्सेसिबल बनाया, वी मेड देम अफोर्डेबल. अब प्रॉब्लम थी, बिजनेस से प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दी. अब मेरा रोल है कि उसको कम्युनिकेट करना है इफेक्टिवली. सो देन वी स्टार्ट क्रिएटिंग कैंपेन्स. आई थिंक हमारा जो फर्स्ट कैंपेन था, इट वाज कड़वी दवाइयाँ मीठे दामों में.
Okay.
That was, I think, first a very very cheeky line. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it, but that's how we started. Then I think our first campaign which really went viral, and it immediately went viral. तो हमने बोला कि यार इतनी सेविंग्स मिल रही है, अब इसका क्या करोगे. दैट वाज द इनसाइट. क्योंकि होता ही है ना, जैसे अभी इनसाइट ये था कि जैसे अभी जॉब कर रहे हो आप भी, तो एक एनुअल बोनस आता है. तो एनुअल बोनस आता है तो एक तरह से लगता है एक्स्ट्रा इनकम आ गई है. तो उस टाइम पे कई लोग छुट्टी ले लेते हैं, वेकेशन लेते हैं, कई लोग उसको इन्वेस्ट कर लेते हैं, कई लोग अपने पेरेंट्स के लिए कुछ लाते हैं. तो वेन एवर वी गेट सम एक्स्ट्रा इनकम वी डू दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग जो हम शायद नॉर्मल सैलरी से नहीं करते हैं. सिमिलरली हमारे कंज्यूमर जो 10-12 हज़ार खर्चा कर रहे थे, अब सडनली उनके पास 2,000-3,000 रुपीज एक्स्ट्रा सेविंग आने लग गई, एक्स्ट्रा इनकम आने लग गई. सो वी मेड अ कैंपेन आउट ऑफ इट कि इतनी सेविंग्स का क्या करोगे. एंड वी शोड सम डांसिंग अंकल्स. सो 40-year-old uncles dancing. So if you go back and see those ads, immediately it went viral, and there was chatter around PharmEasy, and that really helped us to break through. And when we were doing the consumer research about why this campaign worked, why people liked, you will be shocked to know that 90% of our people did not remember our brand's name.
Oh.
The only thing they remembered was a jingle that we have created. PharmEasy, take it easy, PharmEasy. So then
ये
it
तो लोगों
stuck
को
to
आज
us.
तक भी याद है.
ये लोगों को आज तक भी याद है. And I think this is, I think, my reward of, I think, when I hear from people कि they remember this tone and they relate it to PharmEasy, I think that's where I feel very fulfilled as a marketer. तो ये हमें इनसाइट मिला कंज्यूमर रिसर्च से कि यार लोगों को तो फार्मेसी याद ही नहीं है, और जिंगल याद है लेकिन लोगों को. एंड आई थिंक ऑल द लर्निंग्स आई हैड स्टडिंग वेरियस ब्रांड्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू माइट हैव सो देयर आर some noises which we relate to a brand. There are some fragrances or smells we relate to some brands. For example, there is a particular smell of Johnson and Johnson baby powder. You will immediately know that it's that powder.
True.
Then there is Britannia ka ting ting ting. So people automatically relate your brand to that. 2-minute noodles, Maggie. So that's how you build associations.
Okay.
So that is something I think we cracked in our first campaign itself, and we took that cue in all our campaigns. So I think when during my stay at PharmEasy, I must have created campaigns in double digits, and some, I think, 6 to 7 large campaigns. In all our campaigns we had this jingle embedded in the campaign. And in fact we went one step ahead. In later campaigns we created a PharmEasy dance also, which stuck with our consumers, and they eventually people remembered that this tone, like this jingle, means PharmEasy. So initially I remember during my, I think, first year at PharmEasy, because we were a very small company, and we were trying to get the communication right, and I think I was lucky enough to doing CRM, so I understood how consumers are reacting to the communication we are sending. We used to go out, meet our consumers. I have delivered orders myself just to understand कि यार लोग कौन है जो order कर रहे हैं, मतलब उनका घर कैसा है, वो हिंदी में बात करते हैं, मराठी में बात करते हैं, इंग्लिश में बात करते हैं, कन्नड़ में बात करते हैं, टू रियली अंडरस्टैंड द कंज्यूमर्स। हम लोग आई थिंक सुबह जॉगर्स पार्क में जाते थे बिकॉज हमें पता था कि ओल्ड लोग खरीद रहे हैं, तो वी वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि उनके लिए और कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं।
ओके।
तो आई वी वर्कड ऑन इम्प्रूविंग कंज्यूमर एक्सपीरियंस, कैसे ऐप पे हम उनके लिए बेटर करें एंड कैसे हम उसको कम्युनिकेट करें। आई थिंक वन थिंग विच वी क्रैक्ड इज ह्यूमर रूट इन कैचिंग द अटेंशन and communicating ki PharmEasy is making medicines affordable and accessible and delivering within 24 hours to consumers. Over a period of time, as we got more funding, we started growing as a brand. We then started investing money in some large formats, like 75% of our consumers back then in 2019 were male consumers.
Okay.
And males had a very high association with cricket. We started investing in cricket. First time when we invested in cricket, we got like very high ROI. And then we took the first, I think, big bet, and we invested in 2019 World Cup,
Okay.
infamous for Dhoni's performance. But I think that really worked well for us. Not just the sales go up, but when we were doing the post analysis of the campaign, people came back and said ki it's a trustworthy brand because they are advertising on cricket. And I think that was one of the problems we were trying to solve, because in online market of medicine, people had trust issues
True.
कि we are giving medicine at 20% discount, कहीं ये fake तो नहीं है और closer to expiry तो नहीं है. But I think this move really helped us to shut that noise and build trust among our consumers. तो वो एक आई थिंक काफ़ी अच्छा बिग बैट था विच प्रूव्ड गुड फॉर अस. एंड देन इवेंचुअली वी continued to grow as a brand. I think when I left the company, we were doing around, I think 3600, 3000 to 3600 crores in revenue as a company.
Great.
And where I was managing around, I think 300 crores of marketing monies in combined ATL, BTL, digital.
Got it. Got it.
Yes. And
Sir-
Amir Khan was the ambassador.
हाँ,
Yes.
ब्रांड एम्बेसडर वो आमिर खान.
Yes.
तो यहाँ पर एक मेरा छोटा सा क्वेश्चन था कि जब आप जब ब्रांड एम्बेसडर पिक करते हैं, तो उसके पीछे कोई रिसर्च, क्या रिसर्च रहती है, क्या माइंडसेट रहता है, और कुछ मैट्रिसेस रहते हैं जिनको स्टडी करके एनालाइज करके आप एक ब्रांड एम्बेसडर पिक करते हैं.
Yes. So good question. I think ये questions आई थिंक ब्रांड मैनेजर की लाइफ में इंटरव्यू में भी आते हैं, और जब भी हमारी ब्रांड जर्नी चल रही होती है तब भी आते हैं. और आई थिंक देर इज नो right or wrong answer to this. Everyone has their own method, and for us, the mandate was that PharmEasy's parent company, which was API Holding, we have grown so, like, we were at one point of time grew so well. For example, I joined the company with when we were at 40 to 50 crore ARR, and then we were at a ARR of almost 3000 to 3600 crore. But still, people like in my circle also, PharmEasy was not a that household name. Versus I think some smaller companies who are just 100 crore or 200 crore, people still know about them. So we wanted to make that noise, and we want to also build some authority and trust. And then we did our research, like how people associate with certain people with these characteristics: authority, trust. So I think Amir Khan really fit into that whole requirement, and he is one of the, I think, best actors I have seen. And I remember that campaign very well because I personally worked on that campaign. And I have a picture with Amir Khan which I put on LinkedIn, which really went viral. And if you see that picture right now, I have not, I think, slept for almost 4 days till that picture happened, because it was a 2-day shoot with him. And he's such a perfectionist. He want to take, like, he looks at every shot himself.
Okay.
And I remember we had a dance in that ads, if you see. And just before the shoot, Lata Mangeshkar ji died, and there was a mourning in Maharashtra that was happening, and everything was shut. So we couldn't prepare well for the shoot. And obviously it was little chaotic, but everything went well. But I think preparation for that shoot was very important for us. Our IPO was also coming lined up. But shoot went really well. Even Amir sir gave us some extra time also to cover all the shooting we had, and then he was kind enough to help help me with his picture. But I think वो brand managers को लगता है कि brand managing or marketing is about being on shoots and being with celebrities. But I think this is just 1% of our job. 99% of the work happens on field, researching about consumers को pain points क्या है, how can we improve our communication, what kind of copies or creative people like, which kind of copies people don't like, spending a lot of times on Excel just analyzing data in different geographies, how people are responding. Is the same ambassador working for you in South versus North India versus East India? So I think 99% of the job is that getting your pricing right, discounting right. 1% is that glamour for one day that you get.
ट्रू ट्रू सर अभी आपने धोनी की बात बोली, ठीक है, तो मेरे को यहाँ से आपसे समझना था 2019 का जो कैंपेन में आपने पार्ट लिया, तो अभी धोनी बहुत ज़्यादा ट्रोल हो रहे हैं, ठीक है, मतलब लोग आज 2025 में इट्स बीन ऑलमोस्ट 6 ईयर्स, वो जो उनकी 50 रन की इनिंग्स थी उसे ला ला के टुक टुक डिफेंसिव, ठीक है, अभी उन्हें ट्रोल करते हैं, मीम बनाते हैं, और अभी जैसे CSK की परफॉर्मेंस है, अभी भी धोनी ट्रोल हो रहे हैं, तो कुछ लोगों का कहना है लाइक एवरी कॉइन हैज़ गॉट टू फेसेस, सम लाइक वन पार्ट इज सेइंग कि यार धोनी को 2023 में रिटायरमेंट ले लेना चाहिए था ऑन अ हाई, क्योंकि चेन्नई जीती थी उस टाइम। कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं कि यार मतलब कुछ मैं ऐसे वीडियोस देख रहा था, रील्स देख रहा था, इसमें प्रॉपर डेटा था उनके पास कि यार अगर धोनी नहीं खेल रहा तो चेपैक स्टेडियम चेन्नई में व्यूअरशिप एकदम डिप कर जाती है, टिकट्स ही सोल्ड आउट नहीं होते, और 2024 में इतनी ज़्यादा फ़ैन फॉलोइंग थी कि कहीं भी जा रहा है, लखनऊ जा रहे हैं, दिल्ली आ रहे हैं, धोनी के ही जर्सीज, धोनी की फ़ैन फॉलोइंग, तो क्या मतलब आप मतलब आपका इस पर क्या टिके, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन थोड़ा लाइटर नोट पर है, इट हैज़ नथिंग टू डू डेट मच इन टू मार्केटिंग, बट मैं बस ऐसा लाइटर नोट पर आपसे समझना चाह रहा हूँ, क्योंकि आपने उस कैंपेन में आपने पार्टिसिपेट किया, तो क्या थोड़ा सा आप बता पाएंगे अपना थॉट इसमें?
ठीक है, मैं इसको ट्राई करता हूँ एज अ क्रिकेट फैन आंसर करूँ और एज अ मार्केटर भी आंसर करूँ। और आई एम अ वेरी बिग क्रिकेट फैन एंड आई एम अ वेरी बिग फैन ऑफ महेंद्र सिंह धोनी। एंड इफ़ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली, आई थिंक 2011 से ही धोनी को ट्रोल किया जा रहा है कि अब ऑन अ हाई ही कैन रिटायर। तो 2011 से 2025 14 साल से ट्रोलिंग ही चल रही है आई थिंक। तो और आई थिंक आगे भी चलती रहेगी। एंड आई थिंक इट्स हिज डिसीजन व्हेन टू रिटायर और नॉट टू रिटायर. But when it's about data, so we have seen that 2019 World Cup when we invested in marketing campaign, I think almost 70 to 80% of the market viewership of that World Cup came from Indian matches only. And that means obviously India is one of the biggest names in when it comes to cricket viewership. In IPL, over the years, we have analyzed a lot of data. What kind of teams give you high TVRs or TV ratings या high GRP media terms में बात होती है. So you won't believe that matches of CSK versus MI has given the highest ratings over the, I think, when obviously before Rohit Sharma like kind of dropped from captaincy, but before that consistently for I think 8 to 10 years MI versus CSK was the highest rated match, and CSK has the highest TV ratings over the years, so that you can see the magic of Dhoni. Second, I think I've obviously lived in Bombay for 5 years. I've been a Dhoni fan, Rohit fan, and a Mumbai Indians fan, so to say. And I've seen many matches at Wankhede. I was there when you are talking about 2023. I was there at Wankhede, and I think that was the first time in history I saw Wankhede turning into a yellow ground, and everybody was just there to see Dhoni. All the Mumbai fans were just chanting Dhoni, Dhoni, Dhoni. And I have friends in some media companies who manage CSK and Dhoni, and they have been telling me that because of him, Chepauk Stadium's VIP section and all the tickets are sold for next 2 years. So that is the power of Dhoni, and I am assuring you that whenever he decides to retire, the marketing, the TV ratings for the matches of CSK are going to dip for sure, and maybe it will impact IPL also.
ग्रेट ग्रेट, मतलब That's the legacy or that aura that
Yes.
MS Dhoni carries. So sir, thank you for the detailed response. यहाँ पर मेरे को ये जानना है आपसे कि आपने फार्मेसी की जर्नी बताई 5 साल की, उसके बाद नाउ यू आर वर्किंग एट द ब्रांड लीड एट हुनाजा कंज्यूमर्स। तो इसके बारे में बताइए कि अभी आपका क्या करंट रोल है, अभी आपकी क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ हैं, ठीक है, और अभी क्या क्या, और इसी के साथ साथ अगर हम कोलेट करें, थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन लेंदी हो सकता है कि अभी जब से एआई आया है, ठीक है, तो मार्केटिंग इंडस्ट्री को कैसे इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है, क्या नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है, क्या लोगों की जॉब जा रही है, क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन आपको हर जगह मिलेगा, विल एआई रिप्लेस ह्यूमंस, विल एआई टेक माय जॉब। तो क्या मार्केटिंग के फील्ड में पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट देखने को मिल रहा है, नेगेटिव? नेगेटिव तो ऑब्वियसली नहीं होगा, लेकिन लोगों का परसेप्शन है उसे, वो लोग कैसे परसीव कर रहे हैं, तो उस पर आप अपना टेक बताइए थोड़ा।
So, PharmEasy, I think, was one of my, I think, obviously, I was involved in building the brand from scratch, and I'm very proud of the work I've done. But I think after spending 5 years at PharmEasy, then I wanted to do something new because, as you can see, matlab, I've been a person, and today I think also I'm very hungry and curious to learn new things and do new things. So I had a great chat with my founders and my boss at PharmEasy, and then decided that I want to do something else. I briefly, for very brief period, I joined a AI based startup also. Worked there for I think 6 to 8 months, but I think realized that this is the work which is not aligned with my interest or DNA, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
So then I took a break for some time. I think I was on a break for 6 to 7 months. It
Okay.
was, and my sister was also getting married.
Okay.
And I've been, I think, working since I was 18 or maybe 15 years old. I have been working continuously. So I wanted to take a break for 6 7 months and decide क्या करना है आगे, and obviously prepare for my sister's wedding. During that time मैंने थोड़ा LinkedIn पे भी actively content creation करना start किया. तो वो सब कर रहा था मैं, एंड आई वांटेड टू वर्क एट अ प्लेस वेयर ऑब्वियसली माय passion for Indian consumers, building brands for them. I can work on those kind of things, and I can work with founders who have a long term vision of building brands, not just for maybe a year or just for 100 crore exit, but founders who have a long term vision of building brands for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I think there was a very good opportunity that came from Honasa, the parent company of Mamaearth. It was a very rigorous interview process. Obviously, I think some 5 to 6 rounds. Then there is assignment. Everything went well. Then I joined the brand finally. I think I joined. It has been 5 6 months till now.
Mm-hmm.
I work in the brand factory team of Honasa, and brand factory team is, as we say, is the startup within Honasa, which creates brand from scratch, or we acquire brands and then we scale them.
Okay.
You might have heard about brands like Dr. Shade,
Mm.
Aqualogica. So these are all the brands which the brand factory team has created. And they are now at 200 crore ARR, 500 crore ARR. Every data is obviously public because Honasa is listed. And my role as a brand lead essentially is to literally मतलब बहुत simple language में बोलूँ, it's not a job, it's a entrepreneurial MBA stint, where basically you are managing one brand end to end from ideation कि क्या क्या consumer gap है, what kind of product you should offer, what sort of brand name, what should of packaging it should have, what kind of SKUs you should have, then working with NPD teams on new products, new innovations, then working with packaging team, design team on building the packaging, cartons, bottles, etc. And once the ideation comes to life in terms of real product, then comes the marketing piece through D2C, through e-com, how you can increase the sales, how you can build the brand, how you can probably build a community through social media. So that's the entire role is. And I think, as I say, that it's not a job, it's literally a MBA again, for me.
Okay.
And I think this is something which I always wanted to do, and I'm really loving the challenge that I have.
Hmm. Got it.
I really love the job I have, and I think you asked me what is the role of AI in marketing, and are people afraid of losing job? How it is impacting marketing? I think AI has always been there in bits of pieces, but right now I think we in an era with where AI is, I think its impact is at a pace where it's higher than people adopting AI. And I think we should stop questioning whether basically we should not see AI as an experimentation. We should think how we can embed AI in our daily practice. And honestly, AI is not going to take your job, but people who embed AI in their daily lives, in their daily practice, they are going to take your jobs. They are going to get better salaries. So if you are someone who are just saying that AI से कुछ नहीं होने वाला, it can't replace humans, or I am smarter than AI, then I think you need to change your attitude and you should learn AI. For example, at Honasa, we are a very forward looking organization who is always looking for things which are there to create impact, larger impact at scale, and which is anything new that is happening in the world of marketing or technology across the globe. And we have already started using AI in daily practices. For example, from a marketing point of view, there is a lot of bandwidth of a brand manager goes into just reviewing some of the content we create. We create almost, I think, 400 to 500 content pieces for just one brand,
Okay.
and that is almost, I think, more than maybe 20 man hours, sorry, 200 man hours for someone to review all those videos and see. We
Mhm.
are using AI. How can we read those videos faster? How we can improve our creative output? How we can improve our copywriting output
Okay.
using AI? Obviously, humans are involved in everything, but AI is making you smarter, faster, and more efficient.
Got it.
So someone out there, I think, who is not learning AI or who is not practicing AI in his daily life is going to struggle definitely. And people not even from, let's say, IIT IIMs, but they are good at adopting AI will, I think, outperform their competition.
गॉट इट। सर यहाँ पर ना मेरा आपसे एक और क्वेश्चन रहेगा कि आप अपनी ऑल टाइम फेवरेट मार्केटिंग कैंपेन्स के बारे में बताइए। और अगर मार्केटिंग इंडस्ट्री की बात करूँ आपके पूरे करियर की, तो सबसे ज़्यादा आपके रोल मॉडल कौन रहे हैं इस पूरे इंडस्ट्री मार्केटिंग फील्ड में, और सबसे ज़्यादा इंस्पिरेशन आप किससे लेते हैं? तो अगर इसके बारे में आप हमारे व्यूअर्स को बताएं।
आई थिंक मैं तो एक मार्केटिंग स्टूडेंट रहा हूँ और मैंने बहुत सारे कैंपेन्स स्टडी किए हैं, देखे हैं. देर आर सो मैनी रेफरेंसेज, आई थिंक, बट वन ऑफ द cult, I think, campaigns, if I talk about, it's Nike versus Adidas at 2012 London Olympics. So very interesting thing happened. Adidas took the sponsorship of London Olympics. They spent, I think, around $150 million to get the sponsorship. तो आप स्पॉन्सर बन जाते हैं तो आपको हर जगह राइट्स मिलते हैं, आप लोगो यूज़ कर सकते हो, आप मतलब बहुत विजिबिलिटी मिलती है, एवरीबडी कैन सी योर ब्रांड. Nike being Nike, obviously they also want to lose this opportunity, and Nike is known for performance athletes, and this is the biggest stage for them. So they came up with a very smart idea. They had a restriction that they can't use even name of London. They can't use Olympics logo. They can't use the official athletes. So what they did smartly was they shot some videos all across London's in different part of the world. So there are, for example, इंडिया में जैसे होता है ना, यहाँ पे 200 रामपुर हैं, तो ऐसे ही वर्ल्ड में बहुत सारे लंदन हैं. तो they shot London in different places. They shot some visuals which had rings of Olympics in the shots, giving impression that it's about London and Olympics. They made a special shoe for London Olympics for their athletes, which was called, I think, Vault. It had a neon color. So when people are wearing that shoes, the athletes are wearing that shoes and they are on the field, you cannot miss that shoes. So
Okay.
they were more visible than Adidas. And on one side, the campaign of Adidas spoke about power athletes or the Olympic athletes. These guys, they took normal humans or teenagers who are struggling to get fit in their advertisement, and everybody noticed those commercials more than Adidas. And you won't believe, after the campaign when they did the entire analysis, I think
they gained more, close to 60,000 followers. Nike gained 60,000 followers on their social media, whereas Adidas only just gained 10 to 15,000. 37 to 40% people thought that Nike is the main
Brand.
sponsorship, not
Adidas.
not Adidas. So that was, I think, a master campaign from Nike.
Mhm.
Recently, I think, as I keep saying, marketing is not about just this talking about discounts and all those things. British Airways did a very emotional campaign. Basically, there is a problem of Indian people staying abroad in US and London or UK, and they don't come back home often because it is very expensive, and during Diwali etc it becomes even more expensive. So did a campaign where they shot a lady. They told her that they will take her food and deliver it to her son in the country, but to surprise her they took her son to her, and then they shot that moment, and it went really viral that the searches for British Airways rose, and it was one of the most top searched, and obviously their business also increased. And I think that was a marketing lesson, that you have to build association with certain situations, and so that people consider you when they are thinking about those situations.
एंड सर सबसे ज़्यादा अपनी पूरी जर्नी में आप सबसे ज़्यादा इंस्पिरेशन किन किन लोगों से लेते हैं, अगर उनके बारे में बताएं.
सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल यार, अभी ना वी आर इन अ एरा जहाँ पे आई थिंक डिग्रीज और स्किल्स उतना मैटर नहीं करते, बट प्रूफ ऑफ वर्क बहुत ज़्यादा मैटर करता है. तो
Okay.
ऑब्वियसली आई हैव वेरी हाई रिगार्ड्स फॉर ऑल दी founders and manage like bosses I had. For example, founder of Paytm, Mr. VSS, founders of PharmEasy, Dharmil Dhaval, even my Honasa founders, Varun and Ghazal, they are real source of inspiration for, I think, me and for many others also. But I think people who have done exceptionally well and they have a proof of work. For example, I really admire people like Saiba Bali and Chandan, who is the current CBO of Zepto, uh, because I think they are also the source behind source of inspiration behind why I create content. Because I think it's we are living in a era where your work will speak for your skills. So let's say if I have to hire a marketeer, I will probably not hire from IIM. I'll probably hire a person who has built his own social media. For example, if I have to, let's say if somebody is hiring and we are applying for a YouTube marketing manager, probably you will be preferred more than me because I have not built a YouTube channel. So I think people like Chandan, Saiba Bali, these are one of the real source of inspiration for me as a marketeer. That not just for the brands that you are working, but also how you build your personal brand, how you scale your own personal social media presence, and that is, I think, one of the best proof of work you can have.
मतलब मेरे को यहाँ पर जो आपका सबसे अच्छा आंसर लगा है, वैल्यू एडिशन लगी आपकी साइड से, कि आप उन लोगों को ज़्यादा प्रेफर करेंगे जिन्होंने खुद स्क्रैच से बिल्ड किया है.
Yes.
यहाँ पर मेरे को भी एक कंटेक्स्ट या एग्जांपल दिमाग में आया कि शार्क टैंक में इस सीज़न में मतलब 4 से 5 बिजनेसेस के ओनर्स आए थे जिनकी सोशल मीडिया प्रेजेंस जो भी वहाँ पर लेट से लेंस कार्ड से ज़्यादा है, शादी.com से ज़्यादा है,
Yes.
बोट से ज़्यादा है. तो वो लोग कभी IIT IIM नहीं गए, ठीक है,
Yes.
कोई टैग नहीं है, लेकिन उन्होंने वो कम्युनिटी बना रखी है इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग कि
Yes.
2-3 मिलियन उनके वो हैं.
और अब तो आई थिंक IIT IIM वाले भी, अब तो मतलब जोक चलता रहता है. आई हैव आल्सो सम फ्रेंड्स हु आर IIT IIM, मतलब नो, ऑब्वियसली नो हेट फॉर देम, but I think content creation itself is a core marketing skill.
True.
And people who understand those platforms, because I think same content might not work on Reddit versus LinkedIn versus Instagram, because they serve different purposes. But I think somebody who has built a community of 20K, 50K, 100K on any platform, then for me, he's a very good marketeer. He is someone who understands the consumers or the viewers of that platform, and he has cracked communication. And that's why I think people from IIT IIM also have now started creating content. And not just in their professional career, but I think in content also they are killing it.
गॉट इट। सर यहाँ पर हमने आपने कम्युनिटी की बात करी, तो जो आपका पीपल एक दो लोगों के क्वेश्चंस भी आए थे कि यार हम कैसे आपका अनफिल्टर्ड जो कम्युनिटी आपने बनाई है, तो उसके बारे में थोड़ा व्यूअर्स को बताइए कि क्या उसका विजन था, किस माइंडसेट से आपने बनाई थी, वो क्या पर्पस सॉल्व कर रही है।
तो आई थिंक वन ऑफ योर क्वेश्चन अर्लियर वाज कि नया क्या हो रहा है मार्केटिंग में. सो आई थिंक community based brands are right now killing it. The kind of loyalty and love they receive from consumers is huge. For example, back then when I was a student, I used to study about Harley Davidson's community. For example, it started with I think war heroes coming back. They had nothing to do. Then they built community where once a week they will go on ride. And I think since then it has continued. And now I was in Bangalore. I see in Gurgaon also once a week people just gather. They go on rides. They have their dosa idlis, aloo paranthas, and they just chill for once a week. And then they are connected. They are very helpful to each other. Uh, Similarly, I think brands like the Whole Truth Food, brand like Mokobara, recently there was a controversy that they are making fake Chinese bags, but I think they have such a strong community. Their consumers came back and they said, we really love the brand. We don't trust these kind of rumors, etc. So I think that's why I believe in communities, and building a community itself is a very hard skill. And I've been in the last 6 months trying to learn how to make communities and make a good community. And one of my learnings is you have to make a community from where people can drive some kind of value. People can connect to other humans, because I think as humans we are meant to connect physically, not just virtually. तो physical आप कैसे लोगों को connect करवा रहे हो, plus I think community should serve as a platform जहाँ पे लोग एक दूसरे की help कर रहे हैं या connect कर रहे हैं और they are learning something. So I was once part of a community called 10xer Club. It is for marketeers, and I saw how that WhatsApp community turned into a business. And for I think very long time, I had this thought of helping people who had gone through some problems which I faced during my early career. कि यार MBA करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए, आर्ट्स लेना है कॉमर्स लेना है, MBA इंडिया से करना है या अब्रॉड करना है. तो ये सब मेरे को था कि आई शुड बी एबल टू क्रिएट अ प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर आई कैन हेल्प people who are going through these kind of problems. So that's where the idea came of the Unfiltered Club, and I started in before Diwali 2024. And I think right now we have around 800 plus people in the community. We have people from all over India. We have people from US, London, Singapore, Australia, and some of the I think crazy stuff we have done. We have helped a complete stranger in from the community go back to Diwali on his home. तो दिवाली पे normally काफ़ी टिकटें महंगी हो जाती हैं. तो we are very new community. We had I think back then we had only 100 people in the community. So we raised almost I think 30K for his to and fro flight during Diwali, and we were able to send one person home, because I think एज अ स्टूडेंट मैंने भी ये प्रॉब्लम फेस किया है यार, बहुत महंगी हो जाती है टिकट उस टाइम और लोग घर नहीं जा पाते. एंड दिवाली आई थिंक इज अ टाइम यू वांट टू स्पेंड योर विद योर फैमिली. तो वो एक चीज़ थी जो हमने की है. प्लस वी कीप डूइंग सम वर्चुअल वर्कशॉप्स वेयर वी ब्रिंग पीपल हु हैव दोज एक्सपर्टीज, बिकॉज देयर आर पीपल जिन्होंने MBA करके भी सक्सेस देखी है, पीपल हु हैव नॉट डन MBA एंड स्टिल सीन सक्सेस. We have great examples in the community who have taken a route of IIT IIM and non IIT IIM also, and they have seen their success. So I bring those kind of people to share their experiences so that the students or 0 to 3 year work as people can learn and take inspiration and implement those kind of things. Then we keep doing virtual sessions on how to create content, how to manage their time better, how to navigate early career challenges. So those kind of things.
Got it. Like I would really like to appreciate you. Like काफ़ी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं आप थ्रू, क्योंकि सर ये ना चैलेंज बहुत ज़्यादा रहता है. लिंक्डइन पर लोग क्रिप कर देंगे, रेंट कर देंगे, लेकिन असलियत में इंस्पिरेशन वही है जो लोगों की हेल्प कर रहा है विद एग्जीक्यूशन. सो दैट्स रियली अमेजिंग वर्क दैट यू आर डूइंग. सर अब कुछ क्वेश्चन जो लिंक्डइन पर आए थे हम वो पिक कर लेते हैं. तो लाइक देयर वाज वन क्वेश्चन कि व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन लिक्विड डेथ मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटेजी.
I think Liquid Death एक तो I think बहुत ही one of the most talked about brand in last I think couple of years. When I also heard about Liquid Death first time, I was also amazed that they were able to do something what they have done. But I think when I read about it, when I heard the founder and his vision, so there was a simple problem कि water as an industry is very boring. मतलब इंडिया में वाटर स्टैंड बिस्लेरी स्टैंड फॉर बॉटल वाटर बेसिकली इतना बोरिंग कैटेगरी है. मतलब एक्वाफीना के 10 वेरिएशन है. मतलब किसी को पता नहीं असली वाला क्या है और
सही बात है.
एक्वाफीना को बोलना क्या है वही नहीं पता. तो ऐसे ही हर जगह यूएस में भी ऐसा है कि और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इसमें ये आ जाता है प्रीमियम आ जाता है या फिर हिमालयन वाटर है तो या तो 20 रुपए की बॉटल है 100 रुपए की आ जाती है. इससे ज़्यादा कुछ इनोवेशन हो नहीं रहा. एवरीबडी जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस ओनली. So his philosophy was he comes from a very creative background. He was a rock artist before he came into advertising. So he had a very creative thoughts on this. So he said, "Ki, let's break this clutter and do something crazy with the brand name itself, with the packaging itself." And once I think when he narrates his story, he used to go to these music concerts where these singers used to crash cans and drink from the monster can. But in reality, they don't drink. They just want to look cool. So they just put water in those cans and drink on stage. And
Okay.
people will go crazy, you know, ki they are drinking cans and breaking it. So he said, let's sell water in cans. That was his idea. And the nomenclature, the design is also against the norms. So he has done everything against the norms so that people are surprised. For example, Instagram mein, you if you see the same kind of reels, then you will skip those reels. But I think people who break the clutter, कुछ तो अलग दिखाते हैं, then you stop and look at it. So I think that was his philosophy, or on naming the brand like that, on creating content against the norm so that people notice their brand. Then they cracked a very good offline deal where people started picking up their bottles. So I think as a marketer, he said my job was done when people are considering it. And I think one of the learnings from his speeches and other, I think, marketers or founders of brands like Mokobara and Truthful Food is you have to be consistent with your messaging across touch points. यू कांट बी सेइंग डिफरेंट थिंग्स ऑन डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म. मतलब ऐसा नहीं हो सकता आप पैकेजिंग पे कुछ और बोल रहे हो, एसएमएस में अलग बोल रहे हो, सोशल मीडिया में अलग बोल रहे हो और एड में अलग बोल रहे हो. यू हैव टू बी कंसिस्टेंट वट एवर यू आर डूइंग अक्रॉस टच प्लेसेस.
So, sir, like last में, like that was it from my side. Last में जाते जाते, if you have any piece of advice, words of wisdom from your side to the young marketeers who are coming up and who are trying to establish themselves in the domain of marketing, तो उनके लिए आप कुछ words of wisdom last में share करें.
I think अगर like let's say if I was 18 today, so I would be very happy because I think when I was 18 I didn't know what to do. Not so much information was available. I think IIT IIM or doing MBA was one of the few options. But today I think people have so many options, so much access to knowledge. People are, I've seen conversation shifting from looking for MBA versus now people talk about starting their own Instagram channel, YouTube channel, starting their own business at the age of 18, 19, which is I think tremendous. So the new generation obviously is much advanced. But I think for a larger audience, my advice will be that always be curious, always have the mentality of hustle, because I also come across people who want shortcuts to success, and I think there is no shortcut to success in any field, be it marketing, be it sports, be it business. So don't look for shortcuts. Find like bigger problems or hard problems to solve. Work hard on solving those problems, and I think be well connected. Talk, ask for help if you are stuck somewhere. And I think last thing, but we should enjoy when we are working because I think people take their work too seriously, and I think when everybody is not taking them seriously, though having fun whatever you are doing is important. Though having fun at office, outside office, having fun with colleagues, friends, I think spending time with your family is equally important because I think that prepares you well for that. So that is my few words of wisdom, so to say.
Thank you, sir. So that was it from my side, sir. It was, absolute pleasure to host you. And मैं I'll just like to conclude कि हमने सर की जर्नी से देखा कि यार आप एक अच्छा सक्सेसफुल करियर बना सकते हो बिना आईआईटी आईआईएम करे। बस वो एक हंगर होनी चाहिए, वो ज़ील होनी चाहिए, ठीक है। और आपने सर की जर्नी से ये भी समझा कि यार कोई बहुत ज़्यादा फिलोसफिकल ज्ञान नहीं दिया सर ने, एकदम प्रैक्टिकल इंसाइट्स। कैसे उन्होंने अगर वो स्कूल के टाइम से या फिर जो कॉलेज में वो अर्ली डेज पर कैसे उन्होंने सेल्स की, कैसे 300-400 रुपये दिन के उन्होंने कमाए, वो छोटे छोटे इंस्टांसेस एक्सपीरियंसेस काउंट हो के आज वो इस पूरे कुमुलेट हो गए और जहाँ पर सर हैं। तो लोग कई बार ऐसा कर लेते हैं कि सर ये देख लेते हैं कि सर बेस्ट मार्केटियर हैं लिंक्डइन पर आज 2025 में, लेकिन जो 2015 से 25 जो 10 साल सर ने स्ट्रगल की, सर ने जो मेहनत की, ठीक है, जो छोटे छोटे जो छोटे छोटे इंस्टांसेस हुए वो सारे पाइल्ड अप हो जाते हैं, सारे कंबाइन हो जाते हैं और उसके बाद में एक एक इतना अच्छा फ्रूटफुल आउटपुट आता है। सो आई विल बी शेयरिंग सर का लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन। यू शुड फॉलो हिम to if you want, if you are someone who is more inclined towards content creation on LinkedIn, या फिर who is someone looking to get a piece of advice in the marketing domain, या फिर corporate से related भी, और अगर corporate humor से related भी आपको कुछ देखना है तो भी आप सर को follow कर सकते हैं। So that was it from my side. Lovely interacting with you, sir. Thank you
Same
so
here,
much.
Lavin. Thanks for inviting me. And I think you are doing a great work by, I think, bringing those stories in public. And because I think talk to almost 10 to 15 students in a week, and obviously there is so much glamour on Instagram and LinkedIn, but I think in reality people need inspiration, they need advice, unfiltered
True.
guidance, and that's why I've started the community also. But I think there are many people who need this kind of information, so this will help them a lot.
So thank you so much.